guys, welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest, first of all, brother-in-law,
Hi.
Steven's brother, Steve-O's co-producer and tour manager, Malibu resident, Scott Randolph.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. Should we clap to get it synced with your phone?
No, I think it's okay.
It just syncs automatically.
Thanks for coming to the living room.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's hot. Sorry, you're in the bright sun.
I love it. I love the sun.
Yeah, so you live in Malibu.
I live in Malibu, California. I moved out there a couple years ago, and I think I'm resident number 13,001.
Really?
I don't know. I go on the when you drive in, it says 13,000 people are residents, and so when I moved in, I like to consider myself 13,001.
That's funny. That's so nice living out there. And you have like a super healthy lifestyle. I
like to say it's an on-point lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of kidding. But I try to be healthy. I like living in Malibu because it's quiet, and I travel a lot, and so I'm always on the go, and then there's a lot of like overstimulation. So when I'm home, I like to kind of just have the complete opposite, which I think is Malibu, California.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like Malibu's kind of like I'm living on an island because there's only 2 ways in, or 3. There's like Canyon Road, there's Malibu Canyon Road, and then the Coast Highway from Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. So it's you're really isolated over there.
Do you go out to eat in all the restaurants over there?
No, I'm kind of like a creature of habit. Like at night, I'll go to Tremont. Tremonto's Italian restaurant and order the same thing.
Do you ever go to Cafe Habana?
I've been there once or twice. It's terrible service.
Oh.
I don't know. Am I not supposed to say that?
No, I don't know.
Like I've been in there twice. I've walked in and I just waited to get like chips and salsa for like 20 minutes, and then I just left both times.
Nobu and Cafe Habana are the only places like
that you've
I know.
Gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to the Soho House, or I think it's called the Little Beach House over there.
Uh-huh.
But I just like it's a weird thing for me because I don't know why. I'm not normally a snob, but like the service is so terrible. And I think at like the Soho House, it's kind of like it's member only, so they know you're not going to leave. So literally, like you won't get your food, or like somebody come up to you for like 15, 20 minutes.
Ugh.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
That's so rude.
Maybe not. It's not like that at Nobu. I mean,
yeah.
For sure not, because you're paying pretty good money, but
it's much more expensive at that location.
Oh, really?
If you go to Nobu.
No, boo.
So yeah, and then I see you wake up really early out there.
I got up this morning at 3:30.
3:30?
Yeah.
What time do you go to sleep?
Last night like 8:30. No, last night like 9:30, 10.
But that's because you're on that sleep schedule that you can go to sleep that early. You're used to going to sleep that early.
When I'm home, when I'm on the road, like I'm in bed by like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we'll do shows like you said, I work with Steve. So when we're on comedy tour, like we don't get in, like we'll fly in and like depending on where we go, like I land at like 11 or 12, get in at 2. And then when we do shows, like same 2:33. So when I'm home, I just like to kind of have the opposite life. Mm-hmm. So,
but like, are you automatically waking up at 3:30 a.m.?
Yeah, I have a thing on my iPhone that's like
regulates.
Yeah, like for sleep, and I have a thing set at go to bed at 9, and then wake up at 5. But I'm always up before the alarm.
Are you waking up in a panic or like in a?
No, I just wake up and I'm like this morning I woke up at 3 or 3:30 and I couldn't get back to bed, and I was like fuck, and it wouldn't be a problem, but like Starbucks doesn't open till 5. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of just I'm just waiting around for Starbucks to open.
I noticed that you brought back coffee. Yeah. For your Starbucks barista.
Yeah. Like I brought back some coffee from the Congo. I actually have some for Steven.
Okay. Is it ground?
I don't even know. I think I got him espresso and it's ground.
Ooh.
But the guy there was like the guy there is like a chef as well on at night, and so he loved the coffee, and he was like, oh my god, it's almost like a citrusy flavor, and so he gave me a dessert, and he's like, this pairs really well, and I was like, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
It turns out it paired unbelievable with this stupid little, and I didn't want to eat it, but I also sometimes I can't say no to people, so I was like
specifically.
everybody. No, but he gave me a coffee bread, and I was like, man, I can't say no to this guy. So I ate a little slice of it because I'm in a weight loss competition with Steve and our buddy Tommy. So the goal is to get who can get the most shredded by Valentine's.
What is this motivated by?
Like being on camera with our shirts off, and it's just really embarrassing because I'm skinny fat. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, God, like we just got to get into shape. Because it's really.
Did someone call you skinny fat?
Nah, maybe.
Because someone called me skinny fat a couple of years ago, and one, it really hurt, but two, it was eye opening.
Well, because for me, it's true.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck,
I'm skinny fat.
You're not. I mean, where are you fat?
Scott.
I don't see any fat.
Thank you.
But yeah, some trainer said that. And it's weird because I'm like, I got made. I was always like underweight my whole life, and so like I always got not made fun of, but I developed later. So I was always like really skinny going into my freshman and sophomore year, and even up to like 35. You know, I was always like, it's really weird because my entire life I've been like 165 pounds, right? Mm-hmm.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, yeah, that's skinny.
Okay, so then I went to India.
Yeah.
And I came back, I'm 210. And I'm like, oh my God. Is that
because of the bacteria in there?
I don't know. Like, I think like, it's just weird.
Wait, you gained 50 pounds
in a year?
But that's crazy because like.
I don't look.
Okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but isn't India like a third world country with a lot of starving people?
Yeah.
How did you manage to gain 60 pounds?
No, like I didn't like from that trip a year ago, actually a year ago this month, like I just been gaining weight and I got on the scale and I was like, oh my God, I'm 210.
Do you think that attributes to all of your traveling though? Because I know, a lot of comfort eating maybe on the road.
When I go to third world countries, like I lose weight, like I'll get shredded. And
you should.
And then like I just got back from South Africa and we were just kind of like having fun and I gained like 10 pounds. Yeah. So after that trip, we're like, all right, we got to get back into shape. Mm-hmm. So I've lost 6 pounds in 6 days.
Whoa. How?
Just like not eating.
Really?
I mean, just eating healthy. Like I'll have a smoothie for breakfast. I'll work out for like an hour. And then kind of just watch what I eat smaller portions. Do you find that certain times of the day are better for you to work out? Like I can't work out midday. Yeah, I mean it for me, like I'm a morning guy, so my routine is like ideally I'd like to wake up at 4:30. I do like what I need to do in the morning. I check my bank statements kind of like every morning. Yeah, just like I don't know, like check like it's your stocks. Yeah, maybe my stocks, or maybe what I spent the day before. Kind of do like a financial inventory, and then like I don't know, just do like weird things. Like I don't know. Okay, well, walk me through your shitting ritual because. Yeah, so like you're an open book, right? What? You're an it's okay that yeah, it's just between me and you. It's no problem. So I mean, what do you mean my shitting ritual? You know exactly what I mean. I know you have a shitting ritual. Now I'm confronting you on it. Yeah, like I like to be. You have a daily shitting ritual. Yeah, I like to be completely cleansed out before like 7 or 8 a.m. Okay, so walk me through what that means. Well, then I go like I'll go get coffee in the morning, and then at like at 5, and then I'll like do the bank statements. I'll check Zillow. I'll get like nervous because about buying a house. And then it's like, when you're scoring Coke or something like that, like it's like my new drug, and you get nervous and have to take a shit. Yeah. So I have a joke about that. Really? Yeah. Do you want to say it? Or I used to be so addicted to doing Coke that if I even thought about texting my dealer, I would have to take a shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's the same thing. So I get like nervous, like I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to buy this house one day, and I'm like kind of get excited. So I'll do that, and then. Does it still work the same though? Because it's like you don't. I'll just go to a new city. Once I tap that city out, I go to the next city. You'll plateau out in your city of choice. I'll be like Santa Monica. Okay, cool, beachfront, and then the next will be like Marina Del Rey. Oh my God, that's so funny. And then is that still working for you? Yeah. Okay. It's a good go-to. I got to find my thing that excites me. Yeah, I mean, Google searching an X sometimes does it.
Well, you know what I've heard? I've heard that some people like to get excited and to get energy. They'll look up things that like excite them. Like they'll like shopping and add
For
stuff
sure.
to a car or the house thing as well. I've heard
Yeah,
that.
same thing. You've heard this before?
Yeah, I heard someone talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll do that till about 7 or 8. Like if I don't hit a meeting at 7, then I'll just kind of take care of everything I need to do. Like with Steve, a lot of the work is done in New York, so I'm like advancing different comedy clubs. Well, just on the East Coast or like just different time zones other than LA and or Pacific time zone. So like I'll get all the work I have to do done before like 8 o'clock, 8 or 9. So it kind of works for me because I'm playing defense the rest of the day and like I've already sent everything I needed to send out.
Yeah.
So then from 8 to 9, I'll do a workout. So I'll go on a beach run or I'll go, whatever. I'll come home and shower.
Have you shit already at this point?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but I know this, and I have to interrupt you. But I know that you have to take 3 shits.
Yeah, well,
Steven's told me all this.
3 meals a day, 3 shits.
I thought he said that you have to take 3 shits before you leave your house.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to.
In the morning.
Yeah. Well, so I leave my house by
That's
like...
a lot.
Kinda.
It's a goal.
I mean, it's a good goal.
So
and then I jump on the scale every time I do it.
Stop!
Yeah.
Do you really?
Kinda.
Oh, that's a sickness.
What do you mean?
You weigh yourself after every shit you take? And does sometimes it not the number doesn't change?
I've
never done that.
A tenth of a pound, yeah, it'll do it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just important for me because like I'm always on the go.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when like I'm traveling, like it's kind of a nightmare because like we'll have shows till like 2 a.m. And then we have a flight at 9 a.m. So like, fuck, I got to get up at like at least like 3 hours before. I'm tired. It's like, it's really important for me to do that. Like even in all the meditation, things that like Easter, it's like they consider that like a cleansing period from like 7 to 9 or whatever that time is. But it's like, it's really important because you don't want to go into your day like bloated or with gas. It's like, like my shitting is really like, actually I should say my spiritual sobriety is contingent upon like my bowel movement schedule.
I love it. I mean, a lot of people feel this way.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to take that like morning shit.
You have to, or it's like then you're going to go into your day irritable, or like you're probably going to be like pissed off in traffic, and then like if you eat on top of it, you're just stacking food on top of it, and then it's like then you start farting. It's like, dude,
what if it's not coming though? Is there anything that you do to like
drink water,
I mean, coffee, Zillow?
Yeah,
I'm just getting tips for myself.
Yeah,
sometimes coffee doesn't do it, and then you're like, what the fuck?
Switch to espresso, because then you get more hyper.
Okay.
And then you're more like jacked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I do that. Like when I start getting immune to like coffee, I'll switch to espresso.
Yeah. And then switch up the city.
Yeah, switch up the city I buy a Starbucks in.
Okay.
No, but yeah, so it's just kind of like, yeah, that's really important for me. And then by like, back to my schedule, by like 9:30, like I'll take off and then I'll try to eat my first meal by like 10. So like when I'll drive to Hollywood to meet up with Steve, but I'll stop by Erewhon and get like a breakfast.
Love Erewhon.
It's the best.
So expensive though, but it's so good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's everything.
Yeah.
Food. It's the fuel you put in your body.
Yeah. I
don't even want to date a girl that eats at Whole Foods anymore.
Dude, Whole Foods, that's so funny that you bring this up because Whole Foods, like when it first came out, it was nice.
Well, then it got taken over by Amazon. So
is that what happened?
Yeah, and then it's like every Whole Foods I go to is like Rock and Roll Ralph's. There's like skid marks on the floor. There's like gross people inside. It's like I'm just not into it.
I used to eat the prepared food like all the time when it first came out. Now. I would never eat it now. I also got food poisoning one time from like the Indian food. And this is in New York though, 6 years ago. I mean, it's really gone downhill.
They're opening a Whole Foods Dead Center in Malibu. Isn't that crazy? Like it's just gonna be a big ass Whole Foods in the middle of Malibu. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna still drive to Erewhon.
Yeah, it's funny it going to Whole Foods used to be like an expensive market, but now I think they've dropped their prices a lot too because Trader Joe's looks like Smart and Final next to Whole Foods. Then it goes Bristol Farms, which is like, I love Bristol Farms. It is pricey as well. And then I'd say Erewhon is at the top.
Erewhon's at the top.
Do you go to Bristol Farms?
No. It's just because it's not in my route. Like,
yeah.
I plan my day around traffic and like kind of like And I don't. The only Bristol Farms is like right here, right, or by
There's a couple
Mid City.
There's actually one in Santa Monica.
Yeah, so
They have good.
There's an Erewhon in Santa Monica.
Yeah, so there you go.
So it's like their breakfast is so bomb. They have like the yam and egg. Have you seen that?
No,
it's a yam.
I haven't been for breakfast.
Dude, it's a yam that they bake with an egg inside.
I don't like yams.
I don't
I've never
either, but
had
it's
one.
a superfood.
Yeah, Julie eats yams all the time.
Julie Warnock?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like saying the name Julie
I
Warnock.
know, that's funny. Shout out to Julie. Oh, so how do girls that you date, like, how do they react to your early morning lifestyle? Because, like, I would imagine, you know, as a girl, if I was hooking up with a guy and I liked him and, you know, we had a sleepover and then I would wake up and he'd just be, like, gone at, like, 5 a.m. doing his morning.
Yeah, I'll grab him coffee and just kind of like set it aside for him, but I just do my thing, like
Does that negatively affect your relationship? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I mean,
really?
I don't.
No
really,
one said anything to you?
No, I mean, I think it's just kind of like I have to do my own thing in the morning. Like it's really important for me to start my day.
I guess that's okay then. The way that you said it, it's like that's his thing.
Yeah, it's like you know, I don't have too many things, but I think I'm pretty particular about like I just have to wake up early. Mm-hmm. I think what becomes a problem is that I like to go to bed early, and I just like somebody that's a night owl. Like I don't want to be like at a restaurant or somewhere like past 9:00.
Yeah,
I'm just tired.
You wouldn't make it in New York.
I hate New York.
Everyone goes out to eat at like 10.
Yeah, well. I don't hate New York.
New York.
No, I it's probably my top 5 cities. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just I'm good with New York for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah. I got to go. I'm leaving on Thursday for New York, so
We're going too for New Year's.
The 30th.
28th.
28th.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
Where are you guys staying?
So we're doing 3 shows.
Take a piece of hair off your mic that I see. It's like annoying me.
Okay. That's kind of weird.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. We're doing shows in Syracuse, and then we're going to drive to New York City, and then we got to do shows back in Buffalo, and then I'm going to fly home for Christmas, and then we go back out to Albany. And then I'll be in Albany after Christmas, and then I'll drive to New York City maybe for the night, and that's when I think we're going to meet up, and then fly to Miami.
Nice. I love Miami. Have you been?
Yeah.
I feel like the Randolph boys would like the girls there.
In the
South Beach.
Why? What's my brother's type?
I know that he likes Latino, Mexican. I mean, well, they're not Mexican there. They're like Cuban.
Yeah. Cuban, Dominican.
Yeah, but I just know that's like what he likes.
Does that bother you?
No. It doesn't like bother me, but like sometimes like he tells me, you know, that he like likes me and thinks I'm like the prettiest girl he's ever met. But like, you know how like, well, we were friends first. So it's like, I know what he likes though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do this with like every guy I date. I'm like, I know what you really like. You know what I mean?
Do you think you got married to my brother because you guys were friends for so long first and you really got to know each other?
I don't think that's why I got married to him, but I think that's why we have a good relationship because I've never been friends with someone first before.
Yeah.
Ever, you know? And it really, so we already had like this like loving foundation to begin with where I loved him so much as a friend. So then when we added in the hooking up, it was like, oh, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started seeing this therapist because I don't get into too many relationships.
Yeah.
And so I saw this, I've been seeing this intimacy like therapist and
I heard she's amazing.
She's unbelievable. Uh-huh. And so part of like my bottom line behavior is like, I can't have sex with a girl before 3 dates.
Yeah.
And it's new to me. And,
okay.
she's like, why do you think that is? And I said, well, I don't know. I think because, you know, if I have sex with somebody without getting to know them and the sex is really good and it turns out they're a complete psychopath, then I'm like, fucked because the sex is really good. And she was like, oh my God, like, I feel really bad for you. That's your reasoning for that. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the reason is.
Yeah.
And she's, to be honest, I don't even know what she said because I blacked out at that point.
I know what you mean though.
She's like, the trauma blindness with you is just unbelievable. And I was like, well, what's the right answer? And she told me, and I can't even remember it for the life of me.
I too was that way as well. Like I would never like wait to hook up with someone. I'd be like, you know, it would just be like uncomfortable, like, you know, waiting because it's like, whatever. I didn't feel good enough as myself. You know, it's like a low self-worth thing. And it's interesting because when you wait and you get to know someone, you're like, wait a minute, like, I don't even fucking like this person.
Of course.
But you trick yourself into thinking you like this person because, you know, whatever it is about them.
Because your endorphins are popping off. And then once the endorphins
you think
crash,
they're
you're
hot,
like, oh, fuck.
or like you like their job, or like they have money, or like, you know, all the things that I apparently named for my issues.
The shiny things.
Yeah.
You know, like
and it's like, this bitch fucking sucks.
it's the worst bitch in the world.
Yeah.
But it's like you're already so deep in because you're like fucking you know, and so another thing that's big in that world is like not telling somebody you're in a sex program.
Okay.
There's like a thing like don't bring it up for like 6 dates because like everybody has sex issues.
Yeah.
And then if date number 1, I'm like, oh, I'm working this, and they're like, oh, like I'm working a sex program. They're like, oh my God, really? And then you start to connect on that. Then you got a trauma bond. So they're like, don't.
So you don't tell them for 6 dates?
I mean, I don't even make it past date 1 because I don't even like half the girls that I've been going on a date with. You know?
Okay.
So
Why do you?
What?
You know that I was in slaw too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw you under the bus like
It's
you threw me
okay.
under the bus.
No, I went to it for a couple of years as well. I personally, like, I don't think it was good for me to go at the time, but like, I didn't like love it.
I
think
love
it's
it.
right. It's right for certain people. I just think maybe, I don't know.
Well, when I got sober from drugs and alcohol, like I noticed like I had a sex problem.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, like some of the stuff I was doing, you know, on that program. And then once I got some sobriety in that, it came down to the love stuff. Like it came down to me like just getting into a relationship with the really toxic people.
Yes.
And then being extremely fucking bummed out.
Okay.
Over nothing.
So if I pick the wrong person, I'm a love addict. But right now, I'm not. So it's like I get into these push-pull relationships.
Yeah, it's called the dance.
Yeah, the codependent dance.
Yeah.
And so that's like my problem. Like before Steven, I have never been in a good relationship. I've always dated people who would push pull, be hot and cold.
Right.
And then I would act fucking crazy.
For
you know what I
sure.
mean? I mean, I've sent 50 texts in a row.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't send a lot because I can like not be a psychopath. Like I'll just be a psychopath in my head. No. I'm a love addict.
Okay.
Like when I'm reading all the stuff for like sex stuff, when they give an example, I'm the chick. And there's a lot of shame there because I'm like, oh my God, I'm the fucking chick in this.
Yeah.
But in a lot of relationships, like, you know, I can be really cold with women after I sleep with them.
So why is it that you don't get past the first date?
Because I just don't want to do date number 2. Like I'm just not into it. But if it was like, you know, you can have sex, like if I had sex with them, like, yeah, I'd probably go on a second date.
But what? So I'm sorry.
I'm selfish.
I'm confused. You're selfish.
Yeah.
It's because of what are some of the things that like create the issue?
I just think that like most of the girls that I go on a date, I just don't get past date number 1 because I'm not interested. And I think some of the issue is like, and I don't mean this, it's a really weird thing, but like I'm on a dating app, right? And
Which one?
Hinge.
Okay.
It's not even fun. Like I'm just like, I don't even know why I'm on it.
That's the one that like came out kind of new because I don't really know that.
Yeah, it's
one.
pretty new. And so, but I'm looking at like these girls as like bucket list, and it's like travel to, you know, out of California for the first time, and I'm like, but you're
like, bitch, I just went through 3 passport books.
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound like better or less. It's not that at all. But I met a girl who was a model. And she traveled all over the world. Yeah. And there was so much to talk about because she's been to certain places. And so that was really stimulating for me. Like I met a girl recently in South Africa, and I was at a coffee shop, and we just hit it off. And she took me for a drive around the coast. This was like for like an hour in the morning. But we were talking about flowers. We're talking about plants. We're talking about artists from like the 17th century. Like it was, I don't get that a lot here. Yeah. It's kind of superficial in LA and in Hollywood, but pretty much everywhere for that matter. Nothing's stimulating for me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just think,
I know what you mean. You kind of sound like a highly intelligent person when you talk like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to learn more because it's like, I don't know.
You want someone who challenges you.
If on your profile, if you where do you want to go for a first date and it says a dive bar, like I'm for sure not on that frequency.
Do people write that?
Yeah.
I think that's like people trying to be cool. You know what I mean?
Or they're 25. It's like I think there's a certain level of like frequency that you vibrate at. So like everybody that's at a dive bar vibrates at a certain frequency. That's why those jokes are funny to everybody in that arena, right?
Well, have you done this before? And this is really helpful, I think. It's you make the list of everything that you want in a woman,
I've done that.
And a girl, and then you have to be those things.
It's tough.
Did you try that part?
No.
Because that's when you're attracting at the level that you're at.
Right.
And then you're realizing like, oh, you want someone who does all that? Well, are you fucking doing all that?
Yeah,
are you
no.
trustworthy? Are you vulnerable? Are you honest? Are you, do you introduce them to their friends? You know what I mean? So it's all
Right.
those things.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure a girl I meet at the Getty is not at Dave & Buster's fucking eating chicken wings. You know what I mean? It's like there's just a certain level of, I don't know. And I think that's kind of like...
I wouldn't want to be with someone who went to Dave & Buster's. That's okay.
Okay, but there's people like, I don't know. I don't even want to say anything because it's forever on this thing. But it's like, there's certain things I'm looking for,
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Well, somebody that's like well-traveled.
Yeah.
I think is important for me. Somebody that's... It doesn't even matter necessarily if they drink or not. Like that doesn't bother me. I guess if they have a glass of wine here and there, but
there's a lot of people though that you will meet. Like once I got sober and I was like, I don't want to date people who get fucked up anymore. You start to eventually meet people who don't even drink that much. You're like, yeah, I can have a beer or not.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, I think just because, like, again, like, they're just not even in my like vibrational pattern.
Yeah.
I think I've done a lot of like self work to where I've worked out a lot of that negative energy, and so like I'll attract certain, like, honestly, like the only people I hang out with are they don't get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just other things to do. But it's interesting because when you do work a program and you start getting into that stuff, they have a thing that's red light, yellow light, green light. So you go through all your relationship patterns and you start identifying like certain behavior that was like that you didn't like, and so you put that in the red light. So like somebody that's in debt, somebody that doesn't have a car, somebody that like whatever fill in the blank that didn't work for you in the past. Like and that's why it's important to go 3 dates with somebody or 5 dates or 6 dates, because you get to know that you ask questions. So if they have any of these things, it's like if they have any of the red lights, it's like you're out. No questions asked. You're done.
Yeah.
Yellow light would be like things that are kind of red flag, but it's not a deal breaker. And then green light would be like things you are looking for. Like somebody that has a nice relationship with their family. Somebody that is not in debt, has a good savings account. I mean, not that having a savings account is important, but it's like
someone who's responsible financially.
Yeah, exactly.
Financially responsible.
So, I mean, somebody that's traveled, somebody that's interesting for me is kind of like just making new grounds in that area of my life. And then I've traveled everywhere I wanted to by myself. Like,
wow.
Like I would always get into these relationships and kind of had a lot of resentment towards the girl because I just knew there's some trips that I wanted to do, but I was like, man, like I just can't do them, And
like where?
Like I wanted to go to India. Like I wanted to backpack like Central America. I wanted to go to Southeast Asia. Like so, I did all that by myself. But before I did all that, I knew I wanted to do all that. So I'm like, what's the point of even getting into a relationship with this person? Because I know I'm gonna have to do that by myself. And then,
you wanted to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so now that I've done all that, like now I would look for some like I want to go on my next trip with somebody. I don't have to, but it would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But I don't want to go to like fucking Cancun. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to go to like traveling from Mozambique to Ethiopia.
Where is Mozambique?
It's in Africa on the eastern coast.
That's the title of a Bob Dylan song.
Where is Mozambique?
No, Mozambique.
Yeah, it's good. I've heard good things, but things like that. Like I want to go on like Mongolia, like take the Trans-Siberian through Russia to St. Peter. Like like go to the Baltic.
Yeah. There's so many girls who want to do that shit.
Yeah, but I think on the dating app, it's like go to Mykonos or go to like backpack.
Mykonos is still good.
Yeah, Mykonos is good.
Sucks kind of. I actually went there with Allie.
Yeah, but what I would want to do is like Mykonos to Turkey to like Malta.
Okay.
Like do a couple different things or like try to backpack into Egypt or something like that. Like I have to like get high somehow, and like I don't like to spend more than 2 nights in a place. So I like to kind of be on the go.
Okay. I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking if you're going to be traveling to all these places, I feel like a girl would want to spend like a couple of days there. So you have to like meet in the middle to like settle in.
There's no settling. No,
yeah,
so that's something I would have to learn. Obviously, that's like unrealistic of me.
Yeah.
But I have a general rule, like when I'm like, I'll be in Cambodia, right? Mm-hmm. And if I see the same person twice, that means I have to get out of there.
Jesus, what are you running from? Did you kill someone?
No, it's just like, all right, like this is a small place. I've already seen everything I needed to see. Like I'm out. You know? I don't know if that makes sense.
So you were just in India by yourself. You made a documentary while you were there.
I rode a motorcycle.
The Motorcycle Diaries.
It's called Perfect Chaos.
Okay.
So I rode 2,600 miles from Mumbai up through the north, down through like Nepal, down to Calcutta. Okay,
and you had a crew with you.
I had 6 dudes that were Indian that were filming me.
Wow. How did you connect with them?
When I was living in Burbank, there was a guy that I used to live with, Josh, and he's an Indian guy. And I saw on Facebook that he just made a film, and it was in India. And I hit him up. I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this." And he's like, "Dude, let's do it." And he's like, "When are you thinking?" I said, "December." And he's like, "Well, I'm getting married in December." He's like, "Let's do it after my wedding." So I said, "Perfect." And then I bounced out there, and I bought a one-way ticket. And then I like to do that. And then
where'd you get the bike?
I rented a bike over there.
Okay.
So then I did all the deal, and I planned different ashrams I wanted to go to, and I kind of had a general idea, but I just kept going.
And so I know that like a lot of weird shit happened while I'm thinking about the ant cake, the wiping with the.
Yeah. So India is a special place. Like it's not the cleanest place in the world. And
for germaphobes like us.
Yeah, but I would definitely go back.
Okay.
It had an impact on me, and it's special.
How is it different hygienically?
Well, I think it was different for me, like because I was riding a motorcycle, and so like I was
dirty.
16 hours a day.
I would be washing my hands,
and I never washed my hands once. And
what?
You eat with your hands.
What? What do you mean you never washed your hands once?
I mean, you're gonna go into a bathroom in Ahmedabad.
On your trip, you never washed.
I mean, sure, at night when I took a shower, maybe. But here you're okay. You ride 16.
You were just used to being.
It's so
you're
cold.
You're used to that road dog life.
Road dog life. It's like here your options are you can take a cold shower from the faucet, or they can run warm water into a bucket and you dump it on yourself, and then you're freezing ass cold because it's 3 degrees centigrade outside, and you're just like want to get back in your dirty ass jacket because it's so cold.
So what do you mean people eat with their hands?
People eat with.
Are there no forks available?
In the restaurants you can, but like traditionally, like
do people eat with their hands in restaurants?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Of course.
What kind of like rice and like meat, like
curry,
like Indian?
You mix.
How do you eat curry? Are you
You mix it with the rice.
Oh, okay.
And you push it with your thumb.
Wow.
Well, because it was weird because I sat at dinner with.
Do you wash your hands before you eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Do people have like finger bowls or?
No.
Wipes or?
But I mean, you're not checking for that because you're not even.
So do people get immune to that or do they get sick more? Because you would think.
I was eating probiotics like.
Okay.
Fucking candy.
Like pills?
Yeah.
Okay, but ones that you don't have to refrigerate.
I asked specifically for ones you don't have to refrigerate. And it was weird because I was sitting there eating dinner at the dinner table with my producer guy and his family, and everybody was eating with their hands, and I'm like, it's so counterintuitive because your whole life don't play with your food. But you see they're just mixing the whole food and grabbing things. It's like all their fingers are dirty, and it's a trip.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of stuff because you don't get that here. It's like it's not. And so I like places where your brain is completely fucking just out of whack. Like what
do you mean out of whack?
Like it's just you're tripping and you're sober.
Well, you ever feel like you're like in a movie when you're in you know what I mean?
I was riding my motorcycle, so this weird thing happened to me. I was going about 70, and this guy cut in front of me and threw a bunch of bananas out on the road, right? And before I can think twice about it, there was probably 30 monkeys jumping in the middle of the road, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Where'd they come from?
It's just the trees and the side of the road. And so within a matter of like 20 feet. Time slowed down to milliseconds for me, and it was almost like
because you could have run over the bananas and the monkeys.
I was swerving, and literally time was like millisecond.
Yeah,
and
like your life flashing.
My life flashed before my eyes. I saw monkeys grabbing their babies, putting them on their back, peeling a banana, eating the banana. I saw this whole thing happen in like a matter of like 3 seconds, but it lasted 10 seconds. And it was all like slow-mo, like in a K-hole. And
that's the shit that you experience, and then you come here and someone's talking about some dumb shit, and you're like, do you even know what my life has been like and what I've seen?
Do I want to go to fucking the Tiki Lounge in NoHo? No.
Right? Do you know what I mean? I know what you mean about that, like feeling like, I mean, that's scary, but also like moments. I'm like stuck on moments.
Yeah, I think like
have you seen Lost in Translation?
Yeah.
So you know how like the way that felt like as a viewer, like when you're in a foreign country and you feel like you're in a movie and you're kind of just like a spectator. Is that like what it feels like?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're just out of your body, and so you're just kind of like it's just kind of an outer body experience. Like places like India.
Yeah. And then, so people eating with their food.
I went and got a massage, and this lady's like, "Man, you have a lot of dark energy around you." This
is India?
This is at the Bodhi Tree, where Buddha reached enlightenment. There was a massage place we went to, and I was like, and she was rubbing my third eye, like bubble pop, like it was like pop, pop, pop. It was like a weird thing she was doing, and then she whispered 3 ohms in each ear. And I thought I was feeling pretty good. I was like, I'm on a spiritual journey, and I'm like, feeling really good. And she told me that, and I'm like, I don't really think so. It's kind of weird. And then I left there and vomited up black stuff all night.
What?
And I didn't eat anything black.
Has Steven told you that he's done that before?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You vomited it up black stuff?
All night.
He used to say that he would like cough up black stuff when Danny would like tell him some shit.
Yeah, maybe this is a Randolph thing.
I know, because I thought you guys talked about it together, and I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy.
No, like so that was a weird thing that happened to me. I don't know, it was just a crazy experience. I think like literally almost dying like 20 times a day.
What? So what are other things that happen?
Just people cutting in front of you.
Okay.
Cows jumping in the middle of the road.
Cows jumping?
Cows. Dogs jumping in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Like imagine going 60.
Yeah.
And you literally have to slam on your brakes for a herd of goats.
What's like the through line of the documentary? Like what is it?
Just like, I went there to India to search for answers, and the answer I found was I didn't have to go to India to find the answers.
That's so fucking funny.
They're all inside, Okay. And there's a quote that I really like from Emerson. It's in Latin. It goes, "Nete coisi veris extra," and it means do not seek outside yourself.
Huh.
And I heard that when I was like 28, and it really was like, man, like, because for me, like, I've heard that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and so like any kind of stimulation that you're getting from the 5 senses, whether it's drugs, alcohol, traveling, Netflix, getting high off Zillow, it's just you're looking for everything that's outside yourself, and I think the answer is God. And not for me. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's like, if I am to believe that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, then like that makes sense for me. And whatever your idea of God is, it doesn't matter. Like, but I think that's like, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get high.
Yeah, and then to connect to that like inner self, those answers, is that through meditation, sitting in silence alone. I mean, you're by yourself on these trips. You're obviously having a lot of inner dialogue.
Yeah, and I think that, and for me, like I spoke about like vibration earlier. It's like the idea is to raise your vibration. You always hear that in bullshit reggae songs, but it's true. And I think the only way to do that is like to eat healthy. And to pray and meditate and kind of live a clean life.
Do you listen to Esther Hicks?
Yeah, I like her.
Vibrational,
I like
vortex stuff, getting in that flow.
Yeah.
Have you been in that place? Do you know what I mean?
For sure. I know all about that.
Do you know how to get back there?
Yeah.
Or can you talk on that?
I mean, I think just when, in the 20s and 30s, they called that like being on the beam. Like when shit's just... And now like some of the new age talks, it talks about like the fifth dimension. Like it's just when miracles.
I haven't heard the fifth dimension.
Yeah. So I was just listening to a thing on it. And it's like when things happen, when you can manifest spontaneously. And whether or not that's true or not, but it's almost where like, I think where you can relate it is synchronicity. When you think about somebody and they call you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because everything is energy.
Yeah. So I think, and I mean, even that was Einstein's major quote, like everything is energy. And it would behoove us to match ourselves up with the frequency you want. And that Esther Hicks talks all about that. But even like, I mean, where I started getting on the tip was like, I try to get sober reading motivational books. And
Motivational family.
Yeah. Steven's like that too.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I was like, I got really into Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, and then his whole deal was like he would go around and interview like the billionaires of the time. But then I'm like, man, how did these people know that? Because they don't have like YouTube where they couldn't, and so I would research like so they were a lot of those people were listening to like Emerson or Milton, like they would read essays on these famous essayists at the time or you know people like that like, and I'm like, how does that person know this?
Is that sex transmutation?
It's part of it. Yeah. It's one of the steps, you know? And that's another way to raise your vibrational frequency.
Do you think that is that what you're
it fucking works.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've done that.
I'm on day 3 of no blown a load. In India, I went 30 days and I've gone 107 days without blowing a load, and like you're just fucking on one. You're just like, oh, I want
vibrating.
I want pizza, and somebody's like, excuse me, I have an extra slice of pizza. You want it? You're like, yeah. Like just crazy shit. And if you don't believe me, that's why it's so hard. Try it. Like it's one of the toughest things you can do. And but yeah, like
so what else were those guys saying? Give me the cliff notes, because that's a big fucking book.
Just the cliff notes is like, but I kept going down that rabbit hole of like, fuck, how did like you know Milton know the things that he was saying, or how does Emerson know about cause and effect? Like how does Henry David Thoreau know about certain things? And I kept, and like, well, they kept, you know, I traced it all the way down to like Socrates, like 200 BC, whenever the fuck those guys were. Like what they all had in common was meditation. And a lot of the quotes that they had was like, men's failure in life is not being able to sit in a room alone quietly. And there's many different variations of that, but it's like, and I was just like, oh my God. And so when I got into the 12-step program, one of the steps is prayer and meditation. And so I was like, okay, that works for me. I get that. I went to the Bodhi tree. Buddha sat under there for, I think, 47 days. It's like, you know, Jesus went to the desert for 40 days and prayer. It's like every person that is on like a super high frequency level, they all meditate. So, and it's one of the hardest things to do.
Guided or just sitting?
Whatever.
TM.
I think.
Have you done TM?
Yeah,
I want to. How is that?
I did TM where they started TM in India.
Wow.
I went to the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's ashram.
Is that where David Lynch went?
I'm not sure, but I think the Maharishi
did he
came
bring
here.
It over? Like
no, I think I forget. I think
or he just has a foundation.
No, Guru Dev, I think, passed it to the Maharishi, and Maharishi brought it to like. To the States, or like then the Beatles started doing it and then it started blowing up. So I think like I mean at the David Lynch Foundation you see like, you know, Ringo's Seinfeld, like Howard Stern does it, like and it works. But
I've always wanted to do TM.
Yeah, if you have a student ID they'll give you a discount.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it is.
But everybody I know that like you'll look at somebody maybe in Hollywood because I think they're the most visible, but you're like it's crazy. Like, dude, like all of a sudden their career just blew the fuck up, and you're like, they do TM.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily, and I just think that there's like, there's no one way to meditate, but I think having a meditation practice is crucial.
Of course, yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good habit that I need to create for myself.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to stick to. You're very good with habits and sticking to them.
That's one of the things I do in the morning in my morning routine.
Yeah, but you give yourself that extra time.
I have to.
I think for me, I'm not giving myself that extra time. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what do I want to do today? Or I kind of go with like what I have to do, or I'm like, you know,
they call that cold calling your day.
Okay.
You don't want. It's like when somebody cold calls you for a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Do you ever buy what they're selling? Of course not. So you're gonna do that to your day.
Okay, that's interesting.
So you want to like kind of have a routine, you know?
Yeah. Well, I got hypnosis.
Yeah.
Have you done hypnosis?
Sure. I just did it. I just did a past life regression.
Oh, you did?
Like 2 weeks ago, and it didn't work.
I had a hypnotherapist on here who was just talking to me about that.
I think it worked. It just didn't work for me, but
that sounds fucking crazy.
I just read a book, Many Lives, Many Masters. And the person was really fucked up, and they did a past life regression, and he started healing things of like many lives she had ago. I guess that makes sense. And then she started getting better. Like there was nothing wrong with her in this life, and then she's like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Like she had a lot of issues. And then he's like, okay, when he brought her down to hypnosis, like to that state, he's like, okay, go back to the furthest time, and she's like, it was 1774, and my name is Merritt, and like
what the fuck?
And like he started working her through that, and he recorded everything, and then the girl was just getting better and better.
What happened when you did it?
I went back as far as like I've done it before for biting my nails, and it worked, but this for the past life, like
that's
I just wasn't receptive to it.
Yeah. Where they're like, go as far as back. You're like, I'm 4. She's like, no, further. And you're like
I couldn't,
Yeah.
I just, it didn't, I'm not trying to bullshit, but I was like, yeah. She's like, what, I came to when I was like lifeguarding in like 2006.
2 people have told Steven that I was an Egyptian queen in my past life.
Possibly.
Do you see that?
I don't know. But dude, I had a buddy that he was like so convinced he did a past life thing, and he was like, bro, like he's a Brazilian guy, and he's like, dude, like I need to tell you something. He's like, I was a like a leather maker back in Mexico, in Central America, like in Central Mexico, like 300 years ago. And he's like, but you don't understand, dude.
He said to you, I have to tell you something.
Yeah, he was like all serious.
That is
and he was like,
so fucking funny. That is so funny.
Well, it's funny. He's like, bro, you don't understand. Like people were traveling from all over the world to see me. Like he was like into it.
Like you had to like really be affected by this.
Yeah, he was like, that's why I can like, I'm really good at like surfboards and like little like fine things that I do in my garage. He's like, because due to my past life.
You're like, bro, I'm living in the present. I don't give a fuck about you as a leather maker.
I was just tripping because I was like he was so like, he needed me to know that he was the best leather maker in Mexico.
It's
like,
funny.
300 years ago. So, I mean, So.
Yeah. And then, okay. So you were just in South Africa, just to switch over. And how was that?
That was good. What did Steven tell you about that?
Well, nothing, but I did see. So, I saw the video. What can you talk about any of that stuff?
I think I can. I'll just.
So why did you guys go there?
So we went there originally. A couple of different reasons, like a surf trip. We like to go on surf trips, but also we're filming a bit for
you,
something.
Steve.
Yeah, for something Steve's doing, and it turned out like we ended up linking up with the NSPCA.
What was that word?
NSPCA.
No, before that, blinking.
What did I say?
Oh, you said linking.
Linking, yeah.
I thought you said glinking.
Glinking?
I was like, what?
I'm gleeking.
Okay, linking.
You ever used to gleek?
Yeah, that's so funny. I couldn't, but it's like a guy thing.
I can only do it when I yawn.
Don't do it here.
Yeah, and so we went on this ride along with like the NSPCA, the bus poachers, and I'm wondering how much I can say, but it was like it was pretty surreal. It was kind of out of control. We ended up being the cops didn't want to go along with us because like we were filming it, and so they're like, okay, like
you were allowed to film without a permit there.
I mean, yeah, you're allowed.
Is that just a rule in America?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you try like ask for forgiveness rather than permission. We went to a baboon sanctuary, and like,
wait, that's how you guys operate? Ask for forgiveness, not permission?
In the States, like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in the States, we'll, like, get a location agreement, and we'll kind of, do that. But, like, internationally, it's like, who are you going to... It's like, we're just filming.
Okay, yeah.
But some guy did come up to us at a national park, and a baboon was like, dude, you can't film here, but I think you're just being a dick. Like, and the guy who's driving us around was like, bro, fuck that guy. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. You can film here. So, but yeah, so we went on this thing, and like they were like, okay, you guys are gonna have to be the people to arrest these people because like the cops aren't gonna come. They're like 20 minutes behind. So like,
is this the poachers?
They want so they have a big poaching problem in Africa.
And what is poaching?
Poaching is like the selling and trading of illegal animals.
Exotic animals?
Yeah,
or endangered?
It's either exotic. I forgot what they were saying, but like
what kind of animals?
Like well, all different kinds. Like I think exotic, like tortoises and chameleons.
Tortoises are exotic?
Yeah, there's something. It's like
I don't even know what a chameleon looks like.
A bearded dragon.
What? Oh, like a
go to
like
a
iguana.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay.
They sell them in these little bottles, and then but it works its way up to like baby lion cubs.
Oh.
It's kind of like the drug game. No.
Oh.
It's
so it's like black market.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna bust the guy selling grams on the street and work your way up for the guy that's selling baby lion cubs or monkeys or whatever.
Is that how like gangsters who are in like the Mexican mafia have like a lion in their passenger seat or like whatever?
That's probably so nobody fucks with them.
Or like
when do gangsters have lions in their
I just realized
mafia?
Because a friend of mine was in Mexico and these like gangsters, he got caught up with them. I don't know what he was doing, some sort of business, and they wanted to like give him like a baby lion as a present.
Yeah,
and
what the fuck
or like
do
a
you do
baby
with that?
cheetah or something. And he
Right.
was like, I can't take that into America. And they're like, we'll get it back there for you.
Exactly.
So that's like the
same
kind
thing.
of yeah.
So the play was to like we're the American. Like we were the Americans over there visiting, and they're like, "Yeah, we can have tortoises, and like you can bring them back, like no problem. Put them in your suitcase." And like that was they wanted us to like bring them back. So it turns out like long story short, without getting into it, like
wait, imagine like putting a tortoise in your like checked bag, and then you're putting it.
Bad.
They do, and then
I'm
it
sure.
just like pops up in the fucking X-ray machine.
Yeah, you're fucked.
For the
You're
carry-on.
fucked, and then you get in trouble, and like you do not want to go to South African jail. Like they're like, dude, you'll be dead. In,
oh, really?
They're like, you will be dead in 3 minutes.
Whoa, really?
I guess Nat Geo just did a thing on a jail in Cape Town, and it was like, it's like you for sure will be dead.
Whoa, who? The guards or
the people coming? Like if I went in there, I'm fucked.
Really? Who's the? I don't like. They're like gangsters.
Everybody I asked was just laughing, like because I was like, dude, am I gonna go to jail if like I hurt this guy or something? And they're you're not gonna. You won't survive 3 minutes in jail.
But who? What? I don't.
The inmates.
Okay.
Will just fucking cut my head off. And
Whoa.
fuck my face. That's a little much.
No, that's South Africa.
TIA.
Okay, so sorry, I kept interrupting you.
So yeah, no, and so then turns out like all the other guys were back trying to bust somebody else, and me and my buddy Tommy were driving along with these two girls, and we pull up on the intersection, and these guys are just full on fucking selling us tortoises right off the bat. And I was like, oh fuck, because it was on, and the code word was, it's getting late, we should go. And I'm so blacked out.
What is the code word for?
Get out and grab these guys.
Oh, so you guys were trying to make a video of you like ambushing. Like,
yes. Well,
you were trying to arrest them.
We had to get the transaction. So they came up to the car, we're filming, and they're like, you want tortoises? Like they had them in their hands.
They
like,
call them straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys didn't give a fuck.
How much were they selling them for?
800 South African rand.
How much is that?
Maybe like $10. You know?
So like tortoises for $10.
Yeah.
It's like water bottles on the side of the road.
It's 7 cents to the dollar.
Okay.
I maybe the math is wrong, but 800 South African.
And what are you supposed
rand.
to do with them?
Take it back in a fucking.
Who wants a fucking tortoise?
Exactly. They just don't. They just want the money.
That's odd.
I mean.
Okay.
It's Africa.
Okay.
You know, and so we're like, oh, crazy, you guys have turtles. So we're all pulling out our cameras, like filming this whole like thing going on, and totally got the guys like saying, you know, here's the money, here's the it's like got their face, got this, got it in their hand, and the girl turns around and looks at me. She's like, it's getting late here, Scott, right? But what I heard was, Scott, you should go out and grab these guys. Because I'm so blacked out, because I know it's on, like the cameras are on me.
So you didn't hear the code word?
I didn't hear the code word.
You actually heard.
Because when I...
Did you really hear, get these guys?
Because when I came... Okay, so I'll get to that. So I get out of the car, and the girl's grabbing the guy's arm. And so me and the guy, I try to grab this guy, and this guy's just like fucking not going to jail. And so he's trying to get away, and I'm like running after him, grabbing him, and he's just kind of like, he's like trying to swing at me, and he's just kind of like, oof. I just remember specifically, like he kept doing oof, oof. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
That's his code word.
And at this point, everybody in the intersection is coming towards the car, maybe like 15 like African dudes.
Ugh.
And I'm like, oh my God, are they going to fuck me up, you know? And so the guy slips out of my hands. I run after him. I fall down this hill. You can see me in the video, like just eating shit. And then I get up and go and follow him into the bush. The girl's behind me that was grabbing him chases him and follows him after. I'm like 5 seconds into the bush, and my adrenaline's gone, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm in the middle of Africa chasing this guy. This guy's I'm stabbed head to toe with thorns from the bush. This guy's just running through them, no problem. This girl's like, go that way, and I'm like, fuck, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, somebody can come and kill me. Mm-hmm. And so I run back to the car, and then I get back to the car, and the cameras are on me, and I'm like, yeah, it was crazy. Like, and they were interviewing me, and they're like, well, what happened? And I'm like, she told me to go out and grab him, but it's like when we look back at the footage, she never even said that. Like, I was just on another fucking level, you know? And
you're on a different vibration.
Super different vibration. I was in the fucking... I was just like... It was on.
Yeah.
Like, the vibration I was at was like... Everybody else was like nervous, and I was just like kind of calm and like, oh, it's on. And I was just kind of making...
That's interesting. So when, you know, there's like a bad situation, you go into fight and they go into flight.
Well, my therapist is like, wow, it's really crazy that you can't call a girl and break up with her or like meet up with her in person, but you can go run into the bushes of South Africa and like grab a poacher.
Yeah, I wonder what that is.
She's like, intimacy disorder. You know?
Yeah.
So it turns out the guy, like the girl caught the guy, he pulled a knife on her, and the guy... I come back to the car, and like I guess it was suspect number one, this fucking whole sting operation. This guy's like a second offender. He's going in for a long time because of all the footage, and so you'll be able to see all that hopefully on the episode.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you guys are producing something.
A bucket list.
Oh, okay.
Of sorts.
And then gonna try to sell that.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have to do any other kind of like crazy shit hanging out with Steve?
Yeah, I mean,
like, do you have to hurt yourself and do any of the kind of shit that he does? Or?
I don't have to do that, but like I have to, like when he wants to like
risk lives.
When he it's like I have to make phone calls and like, hi, I'm with Steve. He wants to jump out of an airplane. Like, fuck yeah, like
yeah. Does
Steve-o.
everyone?
He can come in. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay. Here's the deal. He wants to jump out of a plane while blowing a load, and they're like, oh. Okay.
Wait, blowing a load?
Yeah.
What does blowing a load mean?
You don't know what blowing a load means?
Oh, Jack, I don't know why. I just didn't know what that meant.
Like, what do you mean blowing a load?
I don't know why. I know what that means. No, of course. But so did he do that?
So it was one of the things that we did.
I don't know why I just blinked out. I just like,
load?
I don't know. I just zoned out.
So it's like making the phone calls like that. It's like, dude, fuck yeah, we're huge fans of Steve. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. He wants to, you know, or like... What's
like one of the craziest calls you ever made?
That one was pretty good.
How'd they react to that, by the way? They're like, okay.
Well, then they're like, dude, I own the business. Like for sure. Like, we would love to have him
But he has to jack off while someone's on his back, which is... And then does that make you gay?
Well, yeah, well, you'll see the footage on that. It's pretty epic.
You know?
But it's like, yeah, no, that's one of the things he talks about.
That's funny.
But like, no, it's funny because like the people are like, yeah, dude, we're huge fans of Steve. He can go skydiving here for sure. And then when I bring that up, like, oh, we'll have to check with my boss. I'm like, oh, I thought you were the boss. But it's like, it's so.
There's always a little twist.
I had to do like 13 or 14 calls like that.
Yeah.
Like to seal that deal in. Another one was like trying to like score illegal anesthesia.
Oh, where's that?
We did a thing where we were trying to like shoot a tranquilizer dart into his butt. But it took too long because it's intramuscularly, and he wanted to ride a bike. So we wanted.
How does he come up with these things?
It's his bucket list.
Does he come up with these things?
Yeah.
Does he sit down and really do the work on it? Where do these ideas come from?
I think it just hits him.
After they've...
From the fifth dimension?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think he just like...
Is it like, how can I hurt myself the most, or what crazy... I mean, like...
I don't know. Like, we'll just be driving somewhere. He's like, dude, we got to do da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And he's like... Yeah. So like, I have to wrap my head around because I have to set it up.
Right.
So I'm not like...
You can't.
I'm not mad at the idea. I'm not mad at any of the.
You have to be completely open.
Yeah, the only idea that I was really bummed about was the anesthesia because there's a lot goes into it. Like I used to be an EMT, and like I used to I know how that works. So what happens when you get anesthesia is your breathing stops. So I'm like, well, you're like you had to get intubated. That they had to stick a tube down your throat and pump you full of oxygen to keep you alive for like 3 minutes.
Did you guys do that one?
Yes, but like...
What about sobriety?
We did etomidate.
What does that mean?
Etomidate is a non like central nerve. It's like whatever the fucking thing is. Like they give it to people that their arms get dislocated, so it doesn't put them out, but it just kind of numbs.
I don't like
we did
any
a lot
of
of
that.
research of that, and so that was like it definitely didn't fuck with the sobriety. But it was like, that was a big thing. Like, we talked to Dr. Drew. We talked to, like, a bunch of people. And they're like, yeah, no, the etomidate's the way to go. But, yeah. And then, so that was one of the only ones that, like, I was just kind of like, fuck. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing this because, like, it's like, it's just a bad. And then it was just like, oh, I almost had to go down to Mexico and score the drug because nobody wanted to do it. We had to get maybe somebody to steal the. It's like it was just a big fucking mess.
So you're rolling around with Steve. I have to ask, fan pussy.
Yeah, in the beginning it was a thing. Like I originally came on as his professional cock block.
Really?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
And then it was pretty easy, like because we shared a room everywhere we went.
Yeah,
you know, just because it was like it was you know. It's easier to say no, and it's like, well, fuck.
So did you take it then?
No, I was just taking one for the team. But
no, I meant like you'd cock block him, but then would you scoop up those seconds? And oh my God, I'm so sorry by saying it like that.
What do you mean?
I don't want to say seconds and be
no. No.
In a, you know what I mean?
I mean, I've had sex on the road
because you're a dude who wants to fuck girls. I'm not trying to. You're like, yeah, I'll fuck that girl.
No, I'm pretty good about not doing that. Like I can separate. No, I can separate work and like business and pleasure. Like you know, but I mean, yeah, for sure. There's been sex on the road for me.
Yeah, like I imagine that a lot of girls come at you guys.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I forget because it's like I've been with them for 5 years, so it's kind of just not. I don't know. I think we just kind of work a pretty good program where we're just not. It's I don't know.
It's died down.
It's not
like you don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's not like
now you just want to go to sleep and eat a steak.
Exactly.
Right.
Like I've already been on the road for so long that I have my routine. It's like I definitely don't want to have to kick a girl out and be like. It just you don't want to like get into the habit of like I just don't have time for game. Like I don't even want to run game anymore.
Yeah, you're in a different place.
Like, look, I'm tired. I'm gonna take this melatonin.
Yeah.
Good night.
So traveling a lot, like do you use melatonin? What are the I mean, like obviously you get super jet lagged.
Yeah, I was really jet lagged on this Africa trip. Like I came back, I was going to bed at like 3 p.m.
Okay.
And then waking up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah. And, so what do you do to
just do the best you can? I mean, just kind of not. I mean, ideally, you stay up for as long as you can, and then go to bed at like 9 p.m. And then pass out. Maybe take a melatonin, and then, yeah. I mean, just try to like business as usual. But I don't know.
Is there anything that you've kind of learned from traveling? You know, that you've come to. You know,
there's a lot
in this searching kind of thing that stands out to you.
I think putting myself first has been really important and like really like something just kind of like at the end of the day, it's like you got to take care of yourself. So like, I don't know. I think for me, like standing up for yourself and like having your routine is really important, and making sure that like you're kind of on point. And but that's not really traveling. I think that's just getting old and growing. But I think I don't know. Like intellectually, I think it helps you grow a lot traveling. I think I don't really have anything on my bucket list that I need to do, so I think there's no regrets. Mm-hmm. I think that's an important one for me. Like, I think I'm getting into the phase of my life where like I'm ready to settle down. Good. You know, I don't know what that looks like yet, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I heard an interesting thing that really kind of changed my life was you spend the first third of your life making as many mistakes as you can. You spend the second third of your life making as much money as you can. You spend the last third of your life giving away as much money as you can. And that was from Andrew Carnegie, and just kind of like the whole like father of philanthropy. Like it's like 'cause you can't take anything with you. For me, like my life was I had a really good life, but then like in my 20s, I was like, man, like I can't go into my 30s like this. And so I think like the first third of my life started at 30 or ended at 30. And now I'm at the point where it's like, I want to kind of like leave behind a legacy until like, so the next 30 years, just like work my ass off, provide for my kids if I have someday, or like kind of set up my retirement, or like kind of like do something that I'm going to be able to do in the last third of my life. Like, you know, like maybe start a nonprofit that's going to help the blind people out, or something that justify me like living on this plane.
That's nice.
I think that kind of makes sense for me.
And then, so you've traveled all over the world. What are the best and worst places you've been to?
The worst place is always the place like I go back to, because I like to travel to new places. Anywhere international is really cool. Yeah. Domestic, I'm just like, fuck, I've been to Ohio 6 times this year. Like so anything domestic, I think going back to certain places, but I like New Zealand a lot. I think the best place is the place I haven't been to. And there's a lot of those. So I've been to 50 countries. Wow. And I think there's 192, and I might be psycho enough to try to go to all of them. Do you carry on all the time? Carry on luggage? Yeah. When I'm backpacking, yeah. Mm-hmm. When I'm backpacking, I'll yeah, it's so funny, like because I travel a lot, so I have like status on airlines. Yeah. So like I'll get upgraded to first. So nice. I'll be coming back from like a 30-day backpack trip just looking like dog shit, but I'm in first class. Or I'm in the lounge. And
wow, he must be a millionaire. You know what I mean?
Like people are just like, who is this fucking guy? Yeah. I have a full beard. I have a backpack on. I'm smelling dirty, and then I'm like taking a shower for the first time in the first class lounge. I love it. Like people are like, what the fuck?
Isn't first class so much better?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's a game changer.
It's like I don't want to be back there.
We got upgraded to first class or to business class on the way back of the last flight. So in South Africa we did 9 flights. Mm-hmm. The last one we got, and it was a 10-hour flight, and I was like, thank God. Like it's just such night and day. You don't have to like lean with your head to the window. Like you just laying in a bed. Some of the food's good. I love airline food. Ew. There's a place in
Coach food though?
I think whatever. Like there's a place in South Korea. It's a restaurant for airline food. It has every airline food and they serve it to you. And it's exactly the portions and everything. Huh. And I want to go there, and I've never been there, and I really want to eat there.
That's such an interesting idea. Uh-huh. That's funny. What do you do on all your long flights?
Try to like think good thoughts.
Uh-huh. But you don't have, I'm just like wondering if you have like some sort of routine. Like,
I watch movies. I like a lot of movies. Like I've seen every movie they have on an airplane pretty much.
The clean version of every movie.
The edited. Yeah. The motherfather. You know, they don't say motherfucker on there.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
They do now. Like we only fly American Airline. Like I like American a lot. Read or just do work, but like when we're flying domestically, like we always like we're always connecting somewhere, so it's like a quick 2-hour break, you know, and then we go land in Dallas or land in Chicago.
Do you keep super hydrated?
No, I don't. No, I try. I mean, I try to book all my shit, like all of our flights, like later in like 1 or 2 p.m. so I can get a good workout in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But it sucks because the later you book, you might miss a connection. Or,
yeah.
You know, and you don't land till. I mean, it's like if you don't leave at 6 a.m., like then it doesn't matter what time you leave because you're gonna get in no matter what at midnight.
Yeah. Well, Scott.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I had fun. Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then, so when do you think your documentary people want to?
Hopefully in a month it's going to be done.
Okay.
We were trying to score it last night. And so we have all the sounds and we're going to edit it. It's at an hour. So it went from like 40 hours of footage down to like, now it's at like an hour and 15.
Wow. That must have been.
Yeah. And then, so we want to get to 50 minutes.
Okay.
So we've had everything we can without music. And now that we have music to it, we're just going to edit around the music and cut it all down. And then,
did that music really bring it to life?
Yeah, you can. I mean,
isn't that interesting what
scoring.
Editing and music and all that stuff does? Yeah.
So hopefully in a month I'll start submitting it to festivals, and then if anybody's interested, they can find me at scottrandolph83 at gmail.com, but that's my email. Don't do that one. Instagram, you can do Scott Randolph 83 on Instagram. I don't know why he said that. Whatever.
That okay?
Email me. Fuck it.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.